Here's what I'm gonna tell y'all. Let's jump into the show. That's it for current events. But let's jump into the show. When we're talking about real money, off top, we're talking about gold and silver. Some people say constitutional money. You know what? I call it real money, because everything else, when you're talking about paper, you're talking about currency. It's not money. It says on the currency that it's a note. It says on it, this note is legal tender, and then I'll stop at note because I'm like, dang. But the most important thing that I want to say before I get into this, because, in 1933, there was a Gold Confiscation Act, and I think gold was valued at $20 an ounce or something like that. Don't quote me on this. And then when they confiscated all the gold, they immediately revalued the gold at $35 an ounce, because the government wanted to manipulate the purchasing price of the dollar. If you look at a silver certificate or a gold certificate, where's mine? There it is. I found it. It says silver certificate. This certifies that there is on deposit in the Treasury of the United States of America $1 in silver payable to the bearer on demand. All right. So when 1933, the Gold Confiscation Act, that was just dealing with the citizens. I'm not going to get into this, right? We talking about real money, so that's why I'm talking about this. I ain't talking about none of this house joint. Look, man, we talking about the Gold Confiscation. I'm talking about real money right now, right? So the Gold Confiscation Act was from the citizen, but at that time, all world currencies, trade between governments, between countries, was denominated in gold and silver, precious metals, or with negotiable instruments that were intrinsically backed by precious metals through some sort of agreement, a warehouse receipt, something like that. And that's really what a silver certificate is. It's like a safekeeping receipt or a warehouse receipt showing that you got this, blah, blah, blah. Look, okay, so check this out. They confiscated the gold from the people, and they started giving out notes, right? But governments were still dealing with precious metals. The Bretton Woods Agreement was that all governments that were a part of that agreement would go on fiat currency, and only United States dollars would be backed by gold and silver, and countries could still negotiate or submit their notes to the Treasury and get their gold and silver out the Treasury. Well, that was closed after Kennedy, the dude after Kennedy. I can never remember his name, the guy after Kennedy, probably because he's a weirdo. But the thing of it is he closed the gold window to where countries couldn't exchange those notes for, gold and silver at the Treasury. But in 1933 is when the citizens couldn't do it in the United States. I'm making a distinction. But the bottom line is the Gold Confiscation Act was because the United States wanted to manipulate the purchasing price of the dollar. And if the dollar was based on gold and silver, the only way they can manipulate the purchasing price of the dollar is if they confiscated the gold from the people and then revalued the gold arbitrarily to say, hey, this is what it's worth, Nick. And that's what they did. But the most important thing to understand is when we talk about holding gold and silver, when we talk about real money right now, we're talking about holding that privately. And the only way that you can hold anything privately is through a private trust. And, here at the trust, at the foundation, we teach private trustee training. Just email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. But, none of this matters because if you're holding this in the name of an individual, an all capital name, or, some sort of public entity, look, man, it's just, I would say you're almost wasting your time. I'm not going to say you're wasting your time. I'm just going to say almost. But most important is this stuff's got to be owned by, the private person. The private, it's got to be private, man. So what I want to say with precious metals, what I want to say with gold and silver first and foremost is, obviously it's real money. What do I mean by real money? it has intrinsic value, and for thousands of years it has been looked at as money. And there's been other things that's been money, shells. I've seen there's been bulbs, like flower bulbs. There was like a tulip bulb, I think it was, and it was like one of the first bubbles ever. I studied that thing. It was funny. What else was money? Salt has been money. Shells have been money. Tulips. It depends, But it's what's accepted. Gold and silver has been accepted as money, more constant throughout history than anything else. Fiat currencies are a relatively new experiment. Even in Roman times and stuff like that, they had silver dinars, the coins or something. This is where the dime comes from, the dinar or whatnot. But the reason why gold and silver is money is because the value is intrinsic, which means the value is connected directly to the value of the coin or the bar is connected directly to what the coin or bar is made of, which is actually gold and silver. It's the gold and the silver that's valuable. That's money, not the coin or the bar. It's not the shape. It's the form, the substance. Some of y'all might catch up on that right there. And the substance is an element that is very scarce. Gold is very scarce in relation to all the other things on the earth. So is silver. Silver is very scarce in relation to all the other things on the earth. So this is what was called real money. And a lot of people say, a lot of things about, real money. But what I'm going to say is, we're dealing with a wealth transfer right now. We're on the cusp of a wealth transfer. And, wealth transfers, they happen regularly. A lot of people don't recognize it, because a lot of times we are on the wrong side of the wealth transfer and we're dealing with the hardships of it. But the other side of the wealth transfer is, the opposite, obviously. So if money's moving away from you, it's moving somewhere else. And one of the easiest ways you can take advantage of the wealth transfer by holding and owning precious metals, gold and silver, and as we're dealing with this wealth transfer right now, I just showed you the article where the dude was like, it's going to go to 2,000, it's going to go to this, and it's going to go up. It's going to be in a bull market, but I'm not buying it right now. It's really weird. We're hearing contradictory things right now. And the reason is because gold and silver is a large component of the wealth transfer. So the wealthy in this country save intangible assets. Notice I said save. When we're talking about gold and silver, you will hardly ever, I'm just going to say you'll never hear me talk about investing in precious metals. I don't invest in precious metals. It's an investment puts your money at risk. When you're dealing with currency, fiat notes, the risk is keeping the money or the value in the currency versus converting the value or exchanging the value into something, what is known as a tangible asset. Now, tangible assets take many forms. It's not just gold and silver. There's other precious metals, diamonds, emeralds, classic cars, collectible art. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that we consider tangible assets: real estate, land, these things. But the easiest thing to get your hand on right now is to start grabbing gold and silver, hands down, and you can get in on this wealth transfer. Now, in 1984, the IRS proposed legislation that American gold and silver eagle coins would be numismatic. And some of y'all may have heard me say this. And why did they do that in 1984? Because in 1985, Congress passed the American Eagle Gold Coin Act, and then subsequently after that, the American Eagle Silver Coin Act. And they designated these coins numismatic. And I'm going to tell you, through my research, American Eagle silver and gold coins are the only coins designated numismatic by Congress. If you find something different that Congress has designated numismatic, I'm very interested to know. But I have yet to find anything that Congress has designated numismatic. And the IRS proposing that American Eagles be numismatic was preemptive because, the possession of gold, particularly, has been illegal since 1933. But in 1985, And even before then, it was like somewhere in I think in the late 70s, where gold was no longer illegal to hoard privately, to privately hoard gold and silver. It was no longer illegal, and that was done because the elite in this country would not purchase purchase these gold and silver coins if they knew that that they were confiscatable. Because the United States had witnessed and noticed that millions of dollars were leaving this country to other jurisdictions for the purchase of precious metals that would be held in that jurisdiction. And if the United States is anything, it's a business. So the biggest thing I can stress is that we don't invest in precious metals; we save. When you have insurance for your home, insurance for your apartment, insurance for your car, most people even got phone insurance on their phone. But precious metals, gold and silver is insurance for your paper money. Real quick, the Federal Reserve Open Market Committee, which is basically board of directors of the Federal Reserve banks, they push for 2% inflation on the currency every year. Inflation on the currency means really deflation on the value, really the purchasing power of the dollar. So, I've had older relatives tell me, that they paid 10 cents, 15 cents, 25 cents a gallon for gasoline. And now gas is what? I don't know, $2. Depends on where you are. Sometimes $3, $4 even a gallon. And, gas is the same gas. It's just the purchasing price of the currency that's being used to acquire gas or milk or eggs has lost its value through inflation and the inflation of the currency. So a lot of people know that, stimulus inflates the currency supply, which inversely reducing the purchasing power of said currency. So if they're pushing for 2% inflation on the currency per year, that means every 10 years, if you're saving in currency, you've lost 20% of the purchasing power or the value of the currency. And I'm not talking about just savings accounts in the bank. I'm talking about anything that's denominated in that currency. Because what you're going to do, you're going to cash out the stocks or whatever and sell it, and you're going to get that currency, and it's still deflating. The value of that currency is still deflating. The purchasing power of that currency is still decreasing. And this is the inverse of what happens with precious metals. So it's good. It's important to know what I just broke down when it comes to gold and silver. We do not invest in precious metals. You want to invest, start a family business, start an LLC. You want to invest, go get a camera and start shooting YouTube videos. You want to invest in yourself. I wouldn't recommend buying any stocks. Wait until your state has millions of dollars, then okay, get in the stock market. But you want to invest in yourself. We save in precious metals. You shouldn't have a savings account with fiat currency in it. It's absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion, and everything I'm saying is my opinion. I'm not giving legal advice, so you do your dance. What we got here? In 2012, U.S. geologists posted on their website, U.S. Geological, by 2025, silver will be the first element on the periodic table to go extinct. I'm pretty sure the article was up for like less than 2 weeks, and then they took it down. You want to know the value of these things? One Tomahawk missile takes 500 ounces of silver. Y'all can investigate Clyde Bundy in Nevada, the silver state. Go look into what happened to him. The government wanted silver that was on his land, and China pushed really hard, saying they wanted to erect a solar field. Neither here nor there. Bottom line, gold and silver preserves your labor. There's 7 ways to, quote, profit from money, gold and silver. You can either find it, you can inherit it, you can steal it, you can mine it, you can gain interest off it, You can profit based off supply and demand, value versus existence, and you can trade for it during supply and demand transactions. But when it comes to the owner, the possessor of these precious metals, I highly recommend it's your private trust, private family trust, private asset trust, however you want to do it. And, we can discuss this. If you're looking to get into trustee training, we could discuss this, your personal specific situation. But otherwise, if you're an employee, you got a 401k, IRA, I highly suggest, and this is, not legal advice. It's not. I can't give legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. But if you have a job, you got a 401k, you got a, IRA, individual retirement account, or, some sort of retirement set up with your job, there's nothing wrong with having a job, It's still in your best interest to get your private estate set up if you do have a job. It's not like, oh, you got a job, you're done. No, that's not the case. But if you have a job, you got a 401k, you got an IRA, I would, check with the custodian of that, the IRA or the 401k, and inquire as to whether or not you are able to self-direct your 401k or your IRA or any portion. So they say no. Okay, any portion? Can I self-direct any portion? 25%, 30%? What? And if you can, some of them be like, no, you can't at all. There's no, you don't do it that way. But some instances you can, and in that situation, you sell whatever shares or whatever you can in your IRA, whatever you feel comfortable with, and you're able to, as long as it's held by a depositor, like a third-party depository, you can purchase gold and silver and hold it in the IRA, and that's the IRS approves that. You do your research. I'm not giving you legal advice, but like as long as you can self-direct, and that will hedge against any further currency inflation and devaluation of the currency. That'll hedge your people say have a balanced portfolio. Most investors recommend that you have 5 to 10% of your portfolio in precious metals, just to hedge against any type of weird stuff. And most of these cats on Wall Street, when their stocks and stuff is dropping, to cover their calls and their shorts, they sell value, they sell the gold and silver to cover their calls and shorts. And a lot of people don't understand that. Well, why is gold dropping with the stock market? Well, that's why. That's usually what happens, especially institutional investors and whatnot. But yeah, like I said, man, IRA, 401k, look and see if you can self-direct it, and whatever you're comfortable with, you can put that into gold and silver. There's a process. You can book a consultation. I'll walk you through it. But it's pretty painless. It just takes some effort, and you got to fill out some paperwork, man. But it's very little to protect yourself from what's coming, and to get into position to be a part of this wealth transfer. Gold and silver is definitely one of the easiest ways to get in there. So where do you buy? Where do we buy gold and silver? We understand the importance of real money. Where do we get it? So I want to break this down. I want to be fully upfront with you and transparent. And I'm gonna break it down from my notes, my personal notes. We're gonna talk about my personal notes right here. When it comes to purchasing gold and silver in the public, you're gonna want to go to what we know is local coin shops. Local coin shops. You can jump on Google, type in local coin shop and your zip code that you're near, and hit enter, and a bunch of local coin shops will come up. I also recommend purchasing from those We Buy Gold shops, and as well as pawn shops. But I'm gonna keep the We Buy Gold shops and the pawn shops in the same category. And we'll get to that in a second. But the local coin shops, they're good. They're cool. These guys know a lot. They know a lot, man. They know a lot about gold and silver. Most of the time, it's their own business. They've been doing it for a long time. And, they've been doing their dance. So they're very knowledgeable. This is the pros of going to a local coin shop. They're very knowledgeable. They're going to be able to tell you some stuff. They're going to be able to educate you on specific coins. If you inherited something, if you found something, they're going to let you know. And a lot of times they're going to be honest and upfront with you because, they have a certain incentive to get you to come back. And anyone who lies to you knows that eventually you might find out that they lied to you by finding out the truth. So local coin shops are good. Another pro of going to a local coin shop, they're reputable. There's a reputable coin shop. They likely are a member of the Better Business Bureau. You know what you're getting. It's very unlikely that you're going to be buying some fake stuff or you're going to get got or anything like that. So that's another pro of going to what we know as local coin shops. And the other pro of going to a local coin shop is, in my opinion, is the relationship, building a relationship. Local coin shops, as well as, we buy gold shops and pawn shops, they get a lot of inventory, people as they sell. So if you're looking for a particular item, maybe you want to get your hands on some silverware, maybe you want a specific coin or specific bars, you let them know and, leave your number and they'll always give you a call. And the reason why they give you a call is because you're likely to buy something and they're likely to make money. So it's a win-win situation. So that's what the pros of local coin shops. The cons of local coin shops is if you live in a tax jurisdiction, they're going to charge you taxes, fam. Sometimes you can go to you go to We Buy Gold shop or a pawn shop and they don't want to deal with, charging the taxes and stuff. And you can get a out of there without paying taxes. Obviously, this doesn't matter for Texas, and I know in California, if you purchase more than $1,500 worth of precious metals, you don't pay taxes, but anything less than that, you do. So local coin shops, they're real sticklers for rules and laws and stuff. So usually it's going to be their business or their family business. They don't want to get in trouble. They don't want no problems. They don't want no liability. And that's going to be the dance. They're usually, upfront people. So, you're going to be paying taxes. Another con of, a local coin shop is typically they're going to be getting their coins from a national dealer. And national dealers, they get the coins from the mints. And here's how precious metals work. And then we'll get into this a little bit later when I tell you how to look at the prices of precious metals. So when you walk in to grab some gold or silver, you know what you're dealing with. On the minute of what the price going rate of precious metals are when you walk in there, so you're informed. Because appearing informed, even if you aren't, can save you some money in these transactions. But yeah, the kind of local coin shops, they're purchasing from national dealers typically, sometimes even from the mints themselves. And the mints, what they do is they charge the price of precious metals, which is known as the spot price. The price of an ounce of gold or the price of an ounce of silver. That's what the going price is. But what the dealers do and what the mints do, because the dealers do it to them, is what the mints do to the dealers is the mints charge what is known as premium, spot plus premium. And premium is this is what they say. It includes the shipping costs of the metal. It includes the cost of minting the metal and refining the metal. And then maybe a couple other things or whatever, And to me, I'm like, why don't you just include it in the spot cost? And I don't know why, but whatever, man. It's precious metals is based off the historic London fix, and anything with a fix in it, I'm always going to be sketchy. But so there's a premium price on top of gold and silver. For silver per ounce is usually between $1 to $2. Right now, man, lately I saw it up to like 10, 15. Right now I'm catching it the premium an ounce of silver around $4, and that's an American Eagle. As far as gold, it's usually between $30 to $50, but man, lately it's been a little bit different. But depending on where you are, they can give you better prices. So the mints, they charge the spot price of the metal plus the premium to the dealers. The dealers purchase it. Now they charge the spot price of metal plus the premium plus a little bit more to the dealers. The stores, the precious metals, local coin shops and stuff like that. And then when you walk into a local coin shop, they're gonna try to tell you, oh yeah, it's the spot price plus the premium and the premium and the premium. I can't stand that. I can't stand it. And that's really why I don't go to local coin shops too much anymore, unless I'm looking for something specific, like some silverware, something that I can know I can get at close to melt value. Because there's melt value and there's spot value. And melt value obviously is going to be cheaper than spot value. And I'm not going to get into that. Now, we buy gold shops. I like these spots. Pawn shops. Let me stick with we buy gold shops. We buy gold shops. I like these spots specifically because the main reason these guys want to get money. You know, they know that they can buy gold and get money off the arbitrage, which is how much they bought it for versus how much they sold it. They're in the neighborhoods. They're usually in neighborhoods where they're kind of distressed, and people who are having problems, they're going to sell their precious metals. They're going to go to pawn shops and so on and so forth. And these guys can really just price gouge people. People are coming in. They need money today. I got to pay a bill. I got to do this. And they just say, well, I'll give you this. And most people just take it. So they be gouging people. They gouge people. And that makes me feel bad. But on the other hand, me knowing that they're gouging and that they're not getting from dealers and they're not getting it from the mints, I know they're not paying spot price. Okay? So what I do, and I'm going to tell you this, same thing with the pawn shops. Pawn shops, the same thing. They're not buying that stuff from the dealers, man, and they're not buying it from the mints. They're not paying spot price. Pawn shops and we buy gold spots, they're buying stuff from people who are walking off the street, and they are not paying spot for these people. They might be paying close to spot, but they're definitely not paying spot, and they're definitely, absolutely not paying spot plus premium. You understand what I'm saying? So when I walk into a We Buy Gold shop or a local coin shop, I'm going to tell them this. I'm going to say, hey, man, look, I know you are not buying from the mints and stuff. You're buying from people off the street, man. You're not paying dealer premiums because you're not buying from the dealers, man. So give me a better deal, and I'll be a regular. This, for me, is a type of savings, not an investment, and I save regularly. That's what you say to these fools. We buy gold, local coin shop. I mean, not a local coin shop. We buy gold in the pawn shop. Now, the pawn shop, if it's a chain pawn shop, don't even try it. But if it's a local pawn shop, it's just one of them. It's maybe owned by a family or whatever. Go in there and mess with them. But those We Buy Gold spots, man, you can get some of the best deals in there if you know how to talk to those fools, because they're gouging people. They're not paying the premiums. So I don't really buy online because that's not private. I'm a face-to-face type person. Now, what I'm going to tell you is this. When you're dealing in precious metals, you're going to exchange. If you get into the exchange ratio and you like to exchange precious metals, you're going to want to exchange. You're going to want to purchase, obviously. You're going to want to acquire precious metals. But there's sometimes in your lives where you want to sell. You're going to want to sell. It is what it is. So in this instance, I'm going to tell y'all right now, you find one or two places to buy. That's all you do. Maybe three in your local area. You find one or two places to buy. All you do is walk in there and buy. That's it. But on the other hand, if you ever need to exchange, you find another spot strictly for exchanges. Call around if you have to. Walk in there. Like, hey, man, you ever get into exchanging, gold for silver or silver for gold, or I'm kind of into that and stuff. And they'll let you know. It does take legwork, but you purchase from one spot. If you're into exchanging, you exchange in another, completely different spot. And if you're ever going to have to sell your precious metals for whatever reason, maybe you're going to cash out a mortgage, you're going to pay off some stuff, or you're having hard times, you want to find one spot where all you do is sell your precious metals. And I'm going to tell you why. You never sell your precious metals in a place where you've been buying them, because at least they have an idea of what you got. They have an idea. So, it's maybe, you can go into a spot where all you do is sell. You can go in there and like, man, this is all I got. You ain't necessarily lying, because that's all you have on you in your possession. And maybe, them saying and being like, man, I know what you got. You don't got all this stuff, man. Look, don't quit playing with me. You don't want to be in that situation. So with that being said, let me talk about the charts and the spot price. Now, precious metals, it trades. But what you got to understand is the spot price of precious metals that you're looking at. When you go look at the price of precious metals for gold and silver, that's not the price of physical. That's the price of paper equities. You can buy a silver equity, gold equity. These are shares in funds or specific types of ETFs. It's not the physical underlying metal. This is the stock market. You understand? You get a stock or some sort of paperwork, an equity or something. You're not getting physical gold and silver. Okay? And as we're moving forward, the price of the stock or spot price of precious metals and the price of physical precious metals is going to continue to bifurcate, which means they're going to continue to separate. What you're seeing on, the charts, the quotes for metals prices and stuff like that, as far as the COMEX and all this other stuff, it's not going to be the correlating price for actual precious metals per ounce. And I know that may be kind of weird, but, I don't know, maybe download the show or whatever, listen to it a couple times and just, try to understand what I'm saying, because they may show you one price on the stock market, but if you go into a shop, just what I explained to you with regards to spot price plus premiums, you're not going to pay this. If they say, oh, silver's $20 an ounce, you ain't going to walk into no store and get no $20 an ounce silver. You're not. Unless you have developed some sort of relationship with this, with this individual proprietor or whoever, you're not going to get it. That's just not how it works. And then there's a gap or a separation between the spot prices of precious metals and the actual physical prices of precious metals. And as you get more into this, you'll see. But what we got to understand is, these fiat currencies, they all fail. And United States fiat currency isn't going to be anything different. It's not special. It doesn't have any intrinsic value. It is what it is. So I want y'all to be prepared, and I want y'all to be able to take advantage of this wealth transfer. Now, if you was grabbing gold and silver 3 years ago, it'd have been a better deal. But, I always tell everybody dollar cost average. What can you afford every paycheck? What can you afford every month? Whatever it is for you. You put that dollar amount aside, and every month or 2 weeks or whatever the interval is, you make a regular interval. And every time that interval hits, you purchase the same dollar amount of precious metals. It's not going to be the same weight amount, because the price of precious metals fluctuates against the dollar. But it's called dollar cost averaging. So if you're like, yo, this is my budget every month, I can get $100 worth of silver, then go do that every single month. That is the best way to acquire precious metals. And it's a good way to learn how to save. And it's very difficult to exchange gold and silver back to currency once you have it in your hands. Trust me. And those of you who've held gold and silver or possess it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But as far as, if you don't know, spot price, the best place that I like right now is called kitco.com. K as in kid, I as in individual, T as in train, C as in company, O as in Oreo cookie.com, kitco.com. And you click on the tab that says all metals quotes. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Currently, lack of silver stockpiles globally will eventually cause a supply crunch due to continued rising demand for silver. All right? There are way more industrial applications. Silver is it's binary. It occupies two positions. It occupies the monetary position. It's a monetary metal. It's money. It's also an industrial metal. It's used a lot in electronics and solar panels and computer chips and your cell phone and your smoke detector and your car. And there's precious metals in your catalytic converter. That's why people are stealing catalytic converters. You go outside, jump in your car, start it up. It sounds like a tractor, fam, because they cut off your catalytic converter. But the applications with regards to silver, Lululemon, y'all know Lululemon. You heard of it? I heard of it. It's weird. It's like activewear. It's very expensive. I was interested into why is it so expensive? Is it expensive just because it's a brand name, or is there something special? It is special. Due to its antimicrobial antibacteria properties, companies have begun to weave silver into clothing to reduce odors. It's in athletic clothing and stuff. Very expensive athletic clothing might have some silver in it. N95 masks, they have silver in them. Silver is antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiviral. Silver. What else I want to say? I personally, and I think silver, the ratio between silver and the gold is gonna narrow. I don't know when. I think they're equally valuable. I don't really think gold is necessarily more valuable intrinsically than silver. And I think as technology advances, as the population increases on the planet, as the natural resources continue to deplete, and we look for alternative, energy sources, silver is going to become more and more in demand. Y'all know in 2015, Obama signed an executive order saying companies that mine asteroids for precious metals get to keep the precious metals that they mine. Some kind of precious metals asteroid mining bill, fam. So, I like silver. Silver's pretty cheap right now. It's historically undervalued. Gold and silver, in my opinion, are the last, bastions of undervalued asset classes that have yet to be put into a bubble. We're going to see a precious metals bull run that we've never seen before. I mean, go look at rhodium, man. That stuff is like $13,500 an ounce. An ounce, 1 ounce, 13 bands. This is stuff that you're not telling the public, y'all. This is private information. This is what I call true knowledge. We talk controlled knowledge in the public. You know what I'm saying? But this is what it is. And, generational wealth is created in part inherently through, the private holding of real money, precious metals, and tangible assets. I do want to leave you with the 3 phases of accumulating wealth. The first phase is the leverage phase. The second phase is the accumulation phase. And the third phase is supply and demand. So I want y'all to think about that. I'm not going to go into that, because, I don't want to straight up explain everything that I talk about. I would like to spark your intellect so that you can be asking questions, researching, and maybe spark that, that Sot, that seeker of truth in you as well. It's important to me. I think it's cool to be smart. It's really cool. Some of the coolest people in my life were very, very smart, and I encourage that we all invest in our private education. Admin at Welcome to the Foundation, the trustee training. The individual, the bank, the birth certificate has the state seal on it. The social security number is a federal number, and it has 9 digits with 1 dash. The birth certificate has a state seal on it. The paperwork, the articles of organization for a company or corporation or a limited liability company has a state seal on it. An EIN is a federal number with 9 digits and 2 dashes. I suggest you own nothing, control everything. And the best way to accumulate wealth, to protect wealth, to pass on wealth, and to create dynastic wealth is through a private estate, private family, trust, private business trust, private asset trust, a lot of times private family foundation. And I highly recommend that, you take advantage of this wealth transfer. You, not the individual with the state seal. You, and the only way you can take advantage is if the private entities that are set up for your family and for the business that you participate in owns what you control. Therefore, if your private estate is constructed of entities and structures that do not owe their existence to any type of legislation and are constitutionally protected entity because they fall under the common law right to contract, in Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution states in part that no state shall pass any law impairing the obligation of contract. We just follow the indenture. In my administration of my private estate is in exchange for food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, and retirement services. Contractually obligated that I fulfill my duties as trustee to the fullest of my capability in the fiduciary capacity in exchange for said administration, proper execution of the contract's indenture. In exchange, as a trustee, we receive food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, and retirement services. People don't know how to do it. There's over 80 different types of trust. People out here trying to sell dreams. I talked to a brother who got played again. I hate talking to brothers and sisters who got played by somebody who sold them some dreams, man, on some trust or something. It bothers me. He's a good brother too, man. I can tell. I can feel it in his vibration, you know what I'm saying? People out here scamming. Don't know what they're doing, don't know what they're talking about. Your intention isn't pure if you're out here just trying to get money. When your intention is pure and you follow your passions and you serve, the money flies at you. But you got to get out of that selfish mind state in order to get into a mind state of service to understand what I'm saying, to experience the truth behind my words. But someone will never know. But the mythical, often spoken of, seldom witnessed private trust, Massachusetts common law trusts, unincorporated. I'm being facetious, but it's right before your eyes. Vibration in your ears, right before you. You gotta know what to do, know how to do it. But real money right now, we're going into some weird stuff. You think it's weird now? Stock market is dropping on hopes. It's up on hopes. It's down on hopes. You can get your Robinhood, trading Robinhood stocks, but then trading closes, and then the after-hours traders tear everything up. How do I get to be an after-hours trader? That's what they don't tell you. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. I suggest you do yourself a favor. You can save in precious metals. You should never be saving in fiat currency. You saving in currency, you save yourself you're saving yourself and your family into poverty. And this is why we can't get ahead. And we don't know what we don't know. How many times can you be lied to if you don't know the truth? We blaming on the gender. Oh, Dad, you didn't, and this is why, man, he didn't know. She didn't know. Just like you don't know. The educational system, this economic system, commercial system is very divisive. You can't go up against it just with your wits about you. Oh yeah, I'm magical. You got to have a proper foundation. Economic foundation. Foundation in etymology. What does this word mean? Where does this word come from? Etymology. Foundation in civics. Foundation in law. Foundation in procedural law. Foundation in contract law. Foundation in banking law. Foundation in trust law. Come on now. On top of, I got to stay in shape. I got to eat well. I got to, spend time with my family and pursue my passions and whatnot. And then some people hear that and we go back to sleep. Oh, that's too much. I can't. Yep, go back to sleep. Good night. Sleep tight. But this is happening now. This is like one of the most significant times to be alive in the history of the United States. And most people are scared. But real quick, 60 seconds left in the broadcast. Thank you. If you are listening online or in some other medium, you want to call in. Before you get cut off, the number is 563-999-3625. Double check. Yep. 563-999-3625. Otherwise, you will be cut off in about 20 seconds. You got about 30 seconds to get up in here, man. And then blue like a shot. Blah, blah. Whoopty. It happens. So, you can continue to do what you were doing, or, you can know nothing, control everything, and get your real money right now. You got to do this thing. And, I love, I got people who email me pictures of, their gold and silver, man. I love it. I love it. So, it's because I'm getting gold and silver. Cool, man. Good. All I'm hearing is, so, it's because I'm not letting the government play us no more. Because that's important. Not allowing the government to play us. They've been playing us, man. You think, look, man, I'm not even going to get into politics, man, because I have no dog in that fight. You feel what I'm saying? I don't care if it's Clinton, Trump, Bush, Obama. Look, none of them fools ran up to me and was like, yo, man, here goes some money. Here goes a car. You're doing good. You're a good father. You got a good heart. None of them. Let me take care of this. Let me take care of that. I don't have a dog in that fight, yo. I'm private. Private, contract makes the law with regards to the dealings between men, and the creator case creates the law in regards to dealings with self and life, the world, fam, nature. It is what it is, man. But, I trust that y'all, were able to gain some information. I kind of, I prepped a little bit for this show. I usually don't prep this much, but I wanted to be concise, and I wanted to say everything that I want to say. And I went through this whole little checklist that I prepped for. So y'all got everything. Y'all got the juice. I'm throwing juice boxes at everybody. Juice boxes. I got cases of juice. Just over here, just with the juice. I got the juice, y'all. I'm throwing it at you. Catch it. Take it, my friend. I'm clowning. I'm in a good mood, y'all. And you be in a good mood too, man. Hey, this stuff in the public, it's like everything. It's a private. It's offering acceptance. Whether you're dealing with someone's attitude, or you're dealing with the so-called election, and whatever you're dealing with, it's offering acceptance. Hey, I'm gonna run up on you and say something weird about your mother. That's me just offering to get into some weird, low class, degenerate, emotional, potentially, arguing with you. I'm over here talking about your mother. That's an offer. Are you going to accept my offer? I'm over here. I'm talking about your mama. What you going to do? Are you going to decline that offer? And that's how I look at everything, you know. I remember one time you was like, everything's intercourse. Everything's a transaction. Now, you know, I was like, man, commercial intercourse, sexual intercourse, it's all the same thing. And, you know, I was thinking about that, man, because Yusuf is profound. And he's right, man. The dude's cold, too. Yusuf is cold, y'all. Yusuf is cold. I feel very, very, you know, honored to call him a friend. But yeah, man, I agree. I did some thought on it. My man was right. Wow. Offer and acceptance. It's all offer and acceptance. So I accept the positive and I reject the offers of negativity. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be financial or emotional or whatever. And I suggest you do the same. Or, you know, begin to work on doing the same, because nothing happens overnight. Let's be real. Anybody expects you to change overnight, they got problems. They got issues, because they ain't changed overnight. And if they say they did, tell them to show you the tape. I'm going to go to the phone lines, man, because I want to get up out of here. I'm enjoying myself. I love y'all, though. Y'all know I've been doing this for over 4 years. I actually went back and checked, because I was like, yeah, man, is it 4 years or 5 years? I couldn't remember. It's over 4 years I've been on high frequency, y'all. And I love what I do, and I love y'all, you know. And I love the positive experience it is witnessing and being a part of your growth, being a part of your transition into private, being a part of the change that everyone goes through when we take a stand and reevaluate what we value, become more accountable and responsible for ourselves, our actions, and even the conversion of our energy that we received from the Creator, not the Internal Revenue Service. And just seeing families, like, you know, I got several trustees, you know, that, you know, really just shout me out, and I'm really, but, you know, I've been doing this long enough to have had a significant impact at this point on people's lives and on people's families, and it's a beautiful thing. But, you know, I got trustees, they'll tell you, they'll call in, they call in the show and tell you, you know, this stuff will change your life. And I appreciate and am humbled when they say, so you changed my life. I did not change your life. You learning and applying this information changed your life. I just offered it to you. You accept it. I love y'all. With that being said, I'm going to take a couple phone calls. Last few shows, I ain't been taking no phone calls. I'm getting emails and people text. All right, man, I'm going to take a couple phone calls. All right? I am. And then I'm up out of here. But I'll do this for you, y'all. This is what it is. And when we get to the other side of this, I want to see as many as y'all as I can. That's all I want. I just want you to do great. And I want you to be happy with the fruits of your labor and the results of your actions and your performance. And if I can help you do that, man, that's a blessing to me. It's an honor to me. And you honor me with your hard work. You honor me with your determination. You honor me with your accolades. You honor me with your study. But most of all, you honor yourself. You honor your Creator, and you honor your family. So I love y'all. I love y'all, man. Straight up. I can keep going and talking, you know, soliloquies. Look, just keep it real. I love y'all, man. Keep it up. Y'all keep it up. I believe in you. Like, you got this. And those of you who made it, congratulations. And those of you who are just now, you know, transitioning to the private, welcome. We applaud the beginner. You're most welcome. Come on in. We got your back. Anything you need, just holler. And don't be weird and don't be shy. This ain't the public. You won't be ridiculed for asking questions or ridiculed for not knowing something. We all were ignorant when we transitioned to the private. And anybody who talks weird with you, moonwalk away from them. You don't know how to moonwalk, learn. That way you can depart the room looking cool, but you still don't take your eyes off of who you walking away from. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right, what we got here? 929-4056, area code 929-4056. I almost said 4056. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Peace, my brother. This is Sister Yvette, Kings, Queens, Communities. My brother, it's been a minute. How are you doing, my brother?
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, I'm doing wonderful. I'm luxurious. How you doing, sister? It's good to hear from you.
I am blessed and highly favored, my brother. I just called in to check in on you and the kings and queens and all the different communities, and to say, for those that applied to your teachings, I applaud you all. I am so proud of you all. Some people are doing some big things, and this has truly, truly been the ancestors' hands all over this. So what I need to say is this: whatever the outcome, because 1619, they all tried to hide things from us. They tried to burn down the court buildings so we couldn't have the legal documents to go and research what we needed to get. All the wicked devices failed. Even up to now, they still going to fail. Kings and queens, when my brother started with you all, silver was what, $13, $14 an ounce. It's almost $50 an ounce, depending on where you buy it from. I strongly, strongly suggest you start stacking your precious metals, because folks are not going to be happy or impressed, whatever the outcome is. But we are starting to wake up. And once we wake up, it's a problem. We've been asleep for a while. We catching it now. I am so proud of all of those that went and filed your papers to become sovereign and get out of this system. Today, y'all on point. Keep doing what you do. All y'all that went and did what you had to do to make sure you look out for your brothers and sisters, keep doing the good deeds, the good works, because your hands will be blessed in the long run. Out of the hearts of men, good measure, it has to return back to you 100-fold. Increase, press down, shaking, folding over. My brother, you are the real deal. Unfortunately, we got a lot of clowns out here. But just like Boo Boo the Fool in the chair, his demise is about to come to end. All those scammers out here, your device is about to come to an end too. So you can't keep doing wickedness and don't think it's going to catch up. It always catches up. And it curses your money, your household, and your generations to come. So be careful how you handle folks, because I know you all listening. All your dirt is now going to catch up to you. I don't care how much precious metals, how much Federal Reserve, whatever you got, however you obtained it, if it wasn't clean, if it was imparted in the proper context, given with the right respect and the right order, it's not going to prosper anymore. My brother, keep teaching. Keep implying it, because when 2021 comes in, kings and queens are going to be knocking down the doors, because things are not going to be the same. Be lenient. Kings and queens, all you different communities, you're not an island by yourself. When you get over, make sure you reach back and grab a few. And don't throw it in their face. Somebody helped you along, you make sure you help somebody else along. We on our second wave. Make sure your supplements are in order. If you all are not working, those who are working in the public right now, make sure you buy some supplements and take care of your neighbors. Because when you take care of the village, it will take care of itself. Until all those who bought the property out in Atlanta, I applaud all the beginners. I applaud the private. Be well, my brother. Be blessed. Stay doing the good thing. Kings and queens, 2021. Get in your education. Get your precious metals. It's about to get real critical out here. Peace, my brother. Peace, king. Peace, queens and kings and queens. All the different communities. My brother teach them because they all coming. And they are coming like nobody's business. Peace, my brother.
Woo, got chills up my spine. Peace, sister. Always a pleasure when you come in and bless us with your wisdom here on the foundation. Always. And I appreciate you coming back and checking in. It has been a while. It's good to hear from you. It definitely is. You should hit me up. I got the same number. I ain't talking to you in a minute. Let's talk in private. Let's check in. I'm going to take one more caller. This number looks familiar. 718-8092. 718-8092. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from? 718-8092. 809292. Hit your mute button. Ain't nobody here. I'm out of here. 718-8092. 8092. All right, that's it. We out of here. Okay, so, check it out. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I got to bounce. I'm out of here. Got to sneeze ash. Got to roll out. Yes, I appreciate y'all. Sister Yvette, I appreciate you. I will continue to teach. This is, I'm on my post. I'm standing here. I'm not going to sleep. And I'm taking this very seriously. So, with that being said, I trust that y'all were able to pick up what I was putting down. This stuff is important. It's real. It'll change your life. When you move into the private, you need to learn things that you don't know because you're going to be doing and living a lifestyle that you never have. And I think a lot of people, miss that. They expect it to be pretty simple and nah, man. Like if you're looking to get into multi-generational wealth and mitigation of taxation legally without having to deal with the stuff and having constitutional protections and stuff, man, it's not easy, man. Come on. You're going to have to do at least some type of work. And if you're willing to do that work and you want to get into that, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. Trustee training has been banging for like over 4 years. I'm getting better and better every time we do sessions. I learn as I teach, and I'm invested in your success. And my success with regards to the foundation is only, in my opinion, quantified by the significance you're able to make in the lives of your family and your family's generations with the information. That's where my success is derived with regards to the foundation and its purpose of reestablishing the foundational understanding of knowledge with regards to commerce and interfacing with the public. Period. Has nothing to do with nationality, has nothing to do with color, and nothing. It's all about knowledge. So, allow me my success by ensuring, the significance of your actions within your family with regards to reestablishing your private estate. I'm at your service, and I look forward to serving you. You can email me, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. Trustee training is not available on the website. I'm going to need to interact with you. We reserve the right to refuse training. I mean, foundation is a trust. It has a charitable purpose. It has to do with education. So technically, it's not a business. It's not run like a business. It's run like an educational, organization. So, I love y'all. I trust y'all have a great week. Hey, I know you invest in these politics. Look, relax, man. Look, relax. I just want to point something out to you. Historically, one of the largest populations in the United States, especially when you're talking about New York and California and Chicago, is the Chinese. And the Chinese, as a culture, has the lowest voting rates, or one of the lowest voting rates in the United States. And what am I bringing that up for? A, they don't care. B, they get their money. Chinatown in Chicago, Chinatown in San Francisco. I mean, look, the Chinese do not really concern themselves with who the president of the United States is, because regardless of who the president is, business is going to go on. And I want you to think about that. There's going to be businesses that go under, and I know I did current events, and I'm talking about, all these bankruptcies and stuff, but a lot of these bankruptcies, they were like zombie companies anyways. They were on their way out. Since 2008, stuff was being held up by threads and gum and, Twizzlers, you know what I'm saying? And what this does is it's kind of like when a forest fire goes through. And I'm talking about like a serious forest fire due to droughts and stuff. And, shout out to anybody who's in California dealing with these fires. But a lot of times a fire is a renewal process. It allows other vegetation and other different trees to, come in and renew it. And, this stuff happens all the time. It definitely happens all the time. And with that being said, these bankruptcies, a lot of them, some of them are very terrible. And, they're all going to affect people. But, it's going to allow for an open field for other businesses to come in. It's going to level the playing field in a lot of ways. And it's an opportunity for you, whether you understand it or not, to start your own business. Because a lot of these big businesses that were taking up a lot of space, they're gone and they're out of here, or they're on their way out. And there's going to create a vacuum, a void, which can partially be filled by your very slim shoestring budget, but it's still up and running after all the stuff. And you never know what can happen to you and your family. So, keep your head up. I want you to stay positive. I want you to maintain your productivity. I want you to fight as hard as you can for your happiness, because you deserve it. You've been through a lot. You deserve it. And, continue to be consistent and dedicated in your endeavors, and it will pay off. I promise you. And, I trust, like I said, you're able to gain and glean some information from the show. I appreciate you checking out the show. Shout out to Sister Yvette and, all of the regulars who've been with the foundation since before it was the foundation. Let's just say that. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'm dead serious. I do this for y'all. I say it all the time. I was very successful, and everywhere I went in the world, people who look like me were in the lowest economic position, and I could not stand it. I'm not one of them. I guess I'm not a house Negro, or what you call them. I'm not cool being the special one. It didn't sit right with me. And, there were other things that, went into it. But ultimately, this is an educational platform for y'all. I got this information, obviously. I already know what I'm doing. And I'm doing all right. But I want to make sure y'all doing okay, too. So, tune in next week. But with that being said, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. It's time to establish your private estate. Otherwise, welcometothefoundation.com. Just start somewhere. Trust Primer, PDF section, Passport No Social, Foundation Trust Series. There's something there for you. And, there's somewhere to start. A lot of people don't know where to start because, you're just getting into this information. There's a lot of people waking up right now and coming into this information for the first time. And what I'm going to say to you is relax. It seems like a lot. It seems overwhelming. And it's really brand new to you. And a lot of times we have, feelings of shame and guilt because we didn't see this our whole lives. And, how could we be so stupid? And, all these, just relax. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. There's so many people that aren't waking up. There's something special in you that you are waking up and coming to awareness of what's going on around you. And it takes time. It's going to take some time. And it's not a rush. It's not a marathon. And you still have time to arrange your private affairs properly in contemplation of life. In contemplation of your life. Not, before you pass away. But there's benefits for that too. And maybe we'll get into that in another show. But in the meantime, welcome to thefoundation.com. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. My name is Sot L, Seeker of Truth L, Speaker of Truth L. And it has been my pleasure and honor to present to you Real Money Right Now by the Foundation here on High Frequency Radio Network. I trust y'all have a great week. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Be good to yourself so that you can be good to others. You can't throw it in the air if you don't have it in your hands. Don't worry about the boo-hoo. Chugga, chugga, choo-choo. Y'all know what it is. Do your dance the best that you can do. And make sure that you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night, because it helps you to transition, believe it or not. And barring you hitting me up in the private, I will catch you next week. Same time, same cold, exceptional, dope network, highfrequencyradionetwork.com. And until next time, you enjoy yourself, take care of yourself. I love you. Peace to the gods.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.